Hello, welcome to the video notes for lesson 4-3. This lesson is operations with numbers expressed in scientific notation, multiplying and dividing. So in this lesson we are focusing on multiplying and dividing with scientific notation. So the target, I can multiply and divide numbers in scientific notation. Now, what's important here is that you remember your rules with exponents. So, we use the properties of exponents to multiply and divide numbers in scientific notation. So, we are looking at page 11 in your notes, and we have some examples that we're going to take a look at. So, let me go ahead and move the screen up so we can see all the problems. I am going to leave a couple of these for you to try on your own. Okay, so multiply. So I have 3 times 10 to the 5th times 3 times 10 to the 3rd. I'm going to reorganize this. Remember, multiplication is commutative, which means you can change the order around and still get the correct answer. So instead of doing the scientific notation and expanding it and then coming up with the answer, I am going to take the first part, the 3 and the 3, and I'm going to multiply those. And I'm going to take the second part, the 10 to the 5th and the 10 to the 3rd, and I'm going to multiply those. Now remember, when you multiply numbers with exponents and the base is the same, you add the exponents. So it looks like this. Now I know we don't need a multiplication symbol in between parentheses, but I'm using it because I'm going to leave my answer, and actually maybe up at the top put a star, or above this put a star, leave answer in scientific notation. Okay, so when we're done, we're going to leave our answer in scientific notation. So 3 times 3, well, that's easy, that's 9. Times 10 to the 5 plus 3, that's 10 to the 8th power. Our answer is already in scientific notation. We are done. Alright, pretty simple. The next one, I am going to help you set it up, but I'm going to let you solve it on your own. So again, I'm going to take the 2 first numbers and then the 2 exponential numbers and then regroup them. And I'm going to have 2 times 4, you should know that, times, and then we have 10 to the 6 plus negative 7. Now, I want you to try to come up with the answer. So I'm putting a star next to this problem, on your own. The one that comes after that, 1.2 times 10 to the negative 4 and 1.2 times 10 to the negative 1. So I'm going to multiply 1.2 times 1.2. Some of you might be saying, well, how do I do that without a calculator? It's actually easy. And 10 to the negative 4 plus negative 1. So, you should all remember 12 times 12 is 144, so 1.2 times 1.2 is 144, but where does the decimal go? Well, there's 2 numbers after the decimal, so it goes right there. Times, and then 10 to the negative 5th power. Alright, pretty simple stuff. Now, let's take a look at the problems at the bottom. We'll do a couple, and then I'm going to have you try to do a couple on your own. So 5 times 10 to the negative 2, 3 times 10 to the 4th, we get 5 times 3 times 10 to the negative 2 plus 4. So 5 times 3 is 15 times 10 to the second power. Now, it seems like we're done. But if you remember our rule with exponents, we can't have this first number greater than 10. So we need the decimal to be here. So I'm going to be moving it this way. Another way to think of this is, okay, well 15 is the same as 1.5 times 10. And then I still have times 10 to the second power. So now if I combine these two, I end up with 1.5 times 10 to the third power. Some students just say, well, I'd rather just move the decimal over 1 and change the exponent. If you can remember that, that's fine. If you can't, then try my strategy. Alright, this one over here I'm going to let you finish on your own. I'll help you set it up. So again, we're going to multiply the two first numbers and then the exponential numbers. So 9 times 4 times 10 to the 3 plus negative 12. I will give you a hint. You will have to do an extra step at the end. Let's go ahead and take a look at 1.5 times 10 to the 9th times 8 times 10 to the 8th. So we have 1.5 times 8 times 10 to the 9 plus 8 power. So 1.5 times 8 is 12 times 10 to the 17th. Okay, you might be saying, well, yep, I recognize this number is bigger than 10, so I'm going to move the decimal over 1, and when I do that, I get 1.2 times 10 to the, what is the exponent? It is 18. And the last one, maybe I should put a box around these, on page 11. And so, again, I'll multiply my first two numbers and my exponential numbers. So I have 7 times 6 times 10 to the negative 6 plus negative 10 power. So I have 42 times 10 to the negative 16. I'm actually going to let you finish this one. Obviously, this is not in the final answer form. If 42 is greater than 10, so I want to see if you can fix it and come up with the final answer. Again, you're just trying, and it's okay to try and get it wrong and learn. On the next page, page 12, now we're going to talk about division. With division, so you can rewrite it if you want. I tend to just kind of draw a line down the middle and focus on the numbers on the left side and then on the right side. So over here I have 9 divided by 3. So 9 over 3, which is equal to 3. So I have 3 times, now I've got 10 to the 4th divided by 10 to the negative 4th. That's 4 minus negative 4 for the exponent. Well, when you subtract the negative, you're really adding. So 4 plus 4 is 8. So times 10 to the 8th power. 3 is in between 1 and 10, so this answer is done. The next one, again, draw a line down here. 4.2 divided by 2 is 2.1 times 10 to the, and then 3 minus 6, what is that? Negative third power. So there's that final answer. Okay, the last one, I'm going to have you try this one on your own. Remember, you're going to divide 8 and 5. I want you to go ahead and convert it to a decimal. It's not a bad decimal. And then you're going to multiply, or figure out when you divide what you do with your exponents here, but it should be pretty straightforward. So you're going to have something times 10 to some power. So I'll leave it at that. Let's take a look at the ones at the bottom really quick. So Actually, let me scroll the screen down. So we have 4 times 10 to the 7th divided by 5 times 10 to the negative 5th power. And remember, so 4 divided by 5 is a decimal, it's 0.8. And then 10 to the 7th divided by 10 to the negative 5th power, that's 10 to the 7 minus negative 5. Subtracting a negative is really adding, so we have times 10 to the 12th. Now, the problem with this answer is 0.8 is not between 1 and 10. So we've got to convert this. So another way to think of this is, well, I can move the decimal over 1 by multiplying it by 10. And then still include this. Now I'm going to combine these, and I get an answer of, actually, 8 times 10 to the, or 8, yeah, 8, it actually should be 10 to the negative 1. Because 8 times 10 is 80. So I almost made a mistake there. Now, when I combine these, I get 8 times 10 to the negative 1 plus 12 is 11. Now, some of you might just recognize, well, because you're moving the decimal this way, they're going to take 1 away from there. Okay, so I think the next one you can figure out what this is. So I'm going to let you try this one on your own. The one after, or below the one we've already done, 7.2 times 10 to the negative 2 over 8 times 10 to the nothing power, first power actually. This is really 10 to the negative 2 minus 1. 7.2 divided by 8 is 0.9 times 10 to the negative 3rd power. I'm moving the decimal over 1, so I'm going to end up with 9 times 10 to the negative 4th power. This one over here, I will help you do the first part. 1.8 divided by 9 is 0.2. 10 to the 4 minus 5 is 10 to the negative 1st power. I want you to convert this and come up with the final answer for the exponent. That's all you got to do. Okay, so there's a couple for you to finish. Hopefully you understand what you're doing in this from this video, but if not, go back and rewatch it. Good luck, and we will see you in math.